what do I click? As soon as I go live, it gives me like an advertisement for something, and I have my screen dimmed so it's not super bright. And then it's like, and then it's like, click this link. I'm like, I just went live on this thing. Why would I click the link to go someplace else? And it's like, oh, just do it. Why not? So anyways, you can try and guess where I'm at. Don't tell anybody, because we all need, everything needs to be a big secret for no reason, I guess, because of the communists. I don't know. We don't want the communists to get our data, so we need to keep everything a big secret. I don't know why it would be a big secret. Also, this is probably a big no-no, because everything's got to be a big no-no. What do you think this goose is gonna do? So yeah, I'm just tooling out of here. I figured I would start this thing up while I'm tooling out of here. I was gonna read somebody's comment from the last one. One of those geese looks like it got hit. Somebody's comment from the last one. I don't remember what he said. I was supposed to look it up and I was going to respond to it this time. If you got questions or comments, you can make them. And then when I do the next one, if I keep doing this, which, you know, remains to be seen, if and when I do the next one, I'll talk about the last one. I think what the guy asked me was if I had seen any good movies lately. And my reply to that would be, I was under the impression that they don't actually make good movies anymore. No, I have not seen any good movies lately. The one everybody mentions for like the most recent good movie is like Nefarious, but I thought Nefarious was kind of whack. I mean, the guy who played the evil demon thing was cool, but the rest of the movie, all around, that guy was like whack, or, you know, not particularly impressive. I don't know. I gave up on movies. I watched Alien Romulus and I was like, well, that could have been better. I don't know. And I mean, I'm not particularly fond of movies anyways. The best movie, obviously, well, not really the best movie ever, in my opinion, my favorite movie, Big Brother has a camera in here. I wonder if I'm their favorite movie. Big Brother put a camera in my face while I'm at my job, and I wonder if they're watching me recording this. But my favorite movie ever, I decided just recently, is Fury. If you haven't seen Fury, it's a World War II movie. It's got Brad Pitt. They're in a tank. They're just, I mean, it's just awesome. If you're like a dude, it's a very dude movie. I don't know if chicks would be into it so much unless they're cool. Some chicks are cool like that. But anyways, Fury is probably my favorite movie ever. It beat out Terminator 2 and it beat out Jurassic Park. Those were my previous favorite movies, but now I just recently decided Fury is my favorite movie. I got to give this piece of paper to the nice lady at the window. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. I'm going to pretend I'm not talking to myself. Hi. There's some guy. What? This guy in the four-wheeler thinks like I'm going to get through the door. I don't know what that's about. Here you go. Thank you. Yeah, there's this guy in this four-wheeler who's stuck at this gate, and he's looking up at me like I'm gonna help him get through the gate. Sorry, dude. I don't know anything about how you are or are not going to get through that gate. I am not a gate operator. I am a truck driver. I was talking about movies, and that guy might have been like, what kind of music are you listening to? We could talk about music some other time. I actually have something to say about music. I have opinions about music. I don't have opinions about movies because, I don't know, I just think that's like one of the major indicators that we're living in like a false reality. Because you know how like if you look at a sports ball stadium and there's like a zillion human beings crammed into the sports ball stadium, And you're like, those people, there's not that many people in the world that everybody went out and crammed themselves into that stadium. And or when you're in traffic and there's a zillion cars and you're like, there's not that many human beings in the world that everybody can be out here all stacked up on top of each other in the traffic. And so I think that movies are kind of an indication of that too. Because if you look at the credits on a movie and then it's just a zillion people were working on that movie, it's just like an unending list of names that are probably just a bunch of jumbled up letters if you really look at them. There can't possibly be that many human beings in the world that there were, 50,000 people dicking around on making this crappy movie, because most movies are crappy. But I don't know. I think everything comes back to, is this a real reality or is this a false reality? But look, we got a lot of time to talk about that. We can talk about other things. But what we should talk about is the sunset. I'm in New Jersey, and you can hate on New Jersey, but there's something special about the sunlight in New Jersey. Not necessarily the sunsets. The sunsets are more or less the same as any place else. But I will tell you, I've lived all around the United States. In New Jersey, maybe it's the smog, I don't know. But New Jersey has, that was a dope Mustang. New Jersey has the most beautiful sunrises. When you're a truck driver, you see the sunrise a lot. I see the sunrise like almost every day if I'm working. It's weird it would be weird if I didn't. But New Jersey has the most beautiful sunrises because everything turns golden. Maybe not if it's a cloudy day. Maybe it's got to be, well, obviously, you're not going to see the sunrise if it's a cloudy day. But on like a nice clear day, especially at certain times of the year, no matter where you go, I think November has the most beautiful sunrises in the month of November. And also, I've been noticing the month of June that we're in right now is really good for sunsets, sunrises, and things. I don't know. So I'm in this tractor trailer and there's like air leaking out of my seat, but it's like the smallest air leak ever. And I can't really find it because it's all jumbled up underneath the seat. So I can't I know if I could twist the little nut, I could stop, but I can hear the air coming out of my seat. And it's like, am I supposed to shut down and not do operations just because there's like the slightest air leak coming out of my seat? Because we're supposed to do a test. They give you a little test you need to do to see if your tractor trailer can hold air or if it's leaking air. And this thing will pass the test. You wouldn't even notice that it has a leak. But I can hear it once in a while. Like if my butt moves in the seat, I can hear like a little bit of hissing. So we're going to be doing driving lessons. That white car could have gone, but it's nice of them to stop, I guess. Anyways, I would like people to be better drivers. And I don't think anybody's going to watch my driving lessons, but they should, because I can teach you a thing or two about a thing or two. I've been doing this all day, every day for many years by this point, and I'm pretty good at articulating what's going on around me. There's this thing they make us do to learn how to drive called the Smith system, and it's very obnoxious and very corporate. It's a bunch of corporate nonsense, in my opinion. Hold on, I want to check if my microphone is actually on. Last time I did this, the microphone died like right after I got over the George Washington Bridge, and then I was just talking to nobody for like an hour. So that's embarrassing. It's stupid. But I mean, it's kind of the essence of things. I got to squeeze through this this tiny little toll booth hole. This takes a bit more concentration than I am relegating to the task. All right, hang on. Okay, I got squeezed through there. So anyways, they make us learn something called the Smith system, which it's like driving lessons for people who have not ever driven anything ever. So at some point in time, you get out of your truck driving school, and then you go to your truck driving company, and they're like, here, learn the Smith system. But as if you've never driven before, I guess. I mean, when they first showed me the Smith system, I'd been driving for like tractor trailers. I've been driving tractor trailers for like 3.5 years before they even showed me the Smith system. And it's just a bunch of obvious things that you wouldn't even think to put into words. But I guess if you've never driven anything ever, it's useful information. But the Smith system does one thing that's really intelligent. The rest of it is garbage, but it does one thing right, and that's that it makes you, when they test you, then they take you out and test you, you have to articulate everything that's happening around you, what you're looking at and what you're thinking about what you're looking at and what you're going to do and what you're going to about to be doing. And I had to recertify on the Smith system recently, and the trainer said I was the only person who ever mentioned 100% of the items on his list of items, that when you're articulating your surroundings, you want to be talking about, you want to hit all these points. And I hit 100% of his points. And he told me, hey, you should teach this stuff. And I probably should. I'm not going to, because I don't really like being in close proximity to people. If there was a way that was convenient, I would teach it. But it's convenient for me to get on the microphone and get on the YouTube, yay, and kind of give driving lessons that way. So right now you can see I'm going really slow. The trailer weighs 27,000 pounds, and you know, you can't get up to speed that fast. Also, the truck I drive is not a fast truck. It is a ultra corporate truck. It is the most corporatist ass truck you could probably imagine. And so it's got these ridiculous configurations that only a ridiculous corporation would think are sensible. Yeah, and it limits your options. And that's not a good way to be driving. When you're driving, it's better to have more options. And if they take away your high speed, they're just taking away like half of your options. Or not half, but like a quarter of your options. What can you do? You can speed up, you can slow down, you can go left, you can go right. So there's like 4 things you can do when you're driving to deal with your situation. And when they take away your high speed, they're taking away 25% of your options. You can no longer speed up. You can only slow down or go left or go right. But that's if you want to drive this truck at 65 miles an hour, because then you're fighting with the cruise control system, because you can only go 65 if you're using the cruise control, and then it's just a bunch of buttons, and you got to be fighting with the buttons the whole time. Or you can, and then there's a radar on the front, and the radar is sensitive to all kinds of things that are happening around you. And so you really can't drive this thing at 65 unless the road is like completely empty, or you're just going to be miserable. And the four-wheelers don't help, because they don't know anything about your radar system and how it's affecting your momentum and your forward momentum and whatever. But so because this is not a 65 mile per hour truck, unless you want to fight with buttons and fight with a radar and fight with every four-wheeler on earth, it is a 62 mile per hour truck. And that way, if you need extra speed, you have the extra speed to get up to 65, which you'll be seeing here shortly, because inevitably some four-wheeler will go around me and then put themselves in front of me and then slow me down. And then I will have to go around them, but I will have the option of 2 speeds, which you would think, why don't you use any kind of speed? Well, if you could, in a Freightliner, you can set the cruise control and override the halting mechanism. I'm in an International. The International cannot override the halting mechanism, so there's no way to maintain your speed unless you mash down the foot pedal. So you only have the option of the foot pedal mashed down all the way, which is 62 miles an hour, or the cruise control bumped up all the way, which is 65. I guess you could technically do 64, 63, but that's not really the point. And so you have the option of 2 speeds, which means you can speed up when you need to get around somebody, and then when they speed up, because people are dickheads, they'll get in front of you and slow down, and then when you try to go around them, they'll speed up. So then you go back down to your initial speed, which was the slow speed, and hopefully they'll get the message, and they'll go away, or maybe they will not go away, and then they'll slow down again, and then so you go around them and you speed up again, and then they speed up again, and then you slow down again, and this can go back and forth as many times as some idiot wants. Most four-wheelers, to their credit, are not trying to be difficult. That was a Grand National or a Monte Carlo, I can't tell which. That was pretty cool. Most four-wheelers, they're not trying to be difficult. They just don't know what they're doing. They have very low skill level. Most four-wheelers are confused, I would say. Or the ones that are causing problems are confused. Because you'll see that there's like 1,000 people on the road, but only one of them, maybe 2, will cause a problem at any given moment. So not 1,000, but all right, so say there's 20 people in front of me and 20 people behind me, and then 1 or 2 of these 20 is going to cause problems for me. They're not doing it on purpose, but once in a while, there are people who will be trying to torture the truck drivers on purpose, which, I mean, those people can burn in hell for all I care, because I got enough problems without somebody torturing me. So it's a nice smooth drive right now. You can see it's a Saturday evening, nice sunset evening. I would like to do this run in a morning time situation, in a sunrise situation, preferably on a Saturday or a Sunday, so we're not doing morning rush hour. But this is the video we're doing. Oh, I'm supposed to be advertising my clown show. If you got children, I made a clown show for children, Rosie the Literacy Clown. Please search my clown show for children, Rosie the Literacy Clown. And if you know any children's, please show your children, friends, or relatives, offspring, my Rosie the Literacy Clown show. So anyways, this is a Saturday night, but people aren't drunk yet. It's 8:20. They're on their way to get drunk. In a few minutes, we'll start seeing the drunk people. This area this area is gonna be bad in like an hour or 2 hours. And then in an hour or 2 hours, we're gonna be up into Connecticut where it's bad. I don't know if I'll still have this thing running. I'll probably run it until I hit a traffic jam, I guess. I had to drink some coffee. I'm not losing my train of thought. Well, I'm losing my train of thought, but also I was drinking coffee. So yeah, this is the calm before the storm. We're going to be up into North Jersey pretty soon. I mean, technically this is still maybe Central Jersey. I'm like leaving Central Jersey. I'm entering North Jersey. I got to set my destination to the GPS. I was dicking around with the internet before I left. I forgot to put the destination into the GPS, but that'll just take a second. Where am I going? I'm going up into Connecticut. Man, I don't know. There's things I would like to talk about, but you really shouldn't say them out loud. There's like professional considerations, trade secrets. there's a couple trade secrets I would like to get off of my chest, but that's why they're secrets. You're not supposed to talk about them. There's a couple things bothering me right now. Hopefully it's just mental, not a big deal. So there's this construction zone up here. Last time I did this, there was all kinds of construction zones. I'm hoping it won't be like that today. What was I saying? Oh, it's Saturday night. It's early. We're going to miss the worst of the drunks, even though the GPS is reporting like, all right, so it's saying there's 24 minutes traffic. I can see that there's a lot of traffic up at the George Washington Bridge, but then there's more traffic like getting into Connecticut. So what's that, Norwalk things? Stamford. I don't know. So it looks like traffic's going to be a problem. Once I get into major traffic, I'm probably going to end the live stream, which is like, or maybe if it looks like it won't be too bad, we can ride it out. I don't know. So everybody's piling onto the interstate all at the same time. I got to cut off a box truck to just not plow into all these people. Sorry, box truck. Not really. Not sorry. Box trucks are always making truck drivers' lives difficult. There's like an endless conflict of interest between box trucks and tractor trailers, where box trucks don't have any training and they don't have any skill and they don't know what's happening. Not all of them. To their credit, once in a while there's a good box truck driver, but mostly they're just confused. Tractor trailers have the added benefit of we do this all day, every day. We get to where it's like second nature. I'm not ever confused, or I'm not often confused, because people display patterns. Even like the most unpredictable people, like that's a pattern in and of itself. Unpredictability, but mostly people are pretty predictable about what they are or are not going to do, and there's a language you can speak when you're out here. The language of the road is the language of the truck driver is intimidation. If a truck driver is trying to intimidate you, he's communicating to you that you need to get the hell out of his way, which you should know to get out of the truck driver's way anyways. He shouldn't have to explain this to you. All right, I gotta, this box truck driver, if he would just go around me, but it's like a rental. Oh my God, there's a cop up there. I don't know what to do about the cop. I mean, not up there, he's behind me, but he's like in the left lane trying to get down the way. And I am trying to not be next to this guy over here who I would prefer to not be near. And then, yeah, I know you're there, dude. And then there's that box truck again, is trying to go around me on the right. He's just having a bad time. He doesn't know what's going on. It's a rider, so it's a rental. The rental box trucks are worse than the normal box trucks, because that's just some random person who has a big giant vehicle. They don't know what to do with it. But yeah, I don't know. We do it all day, every day, and we see the same things. Oh, look at all these deer. Oh, it's a baby. Did you see the baby deer? I don't know. A lot of things happen over on the right, and I always have, or not always, but this time and the last time I had the camera pointed, like tilted to the left, I guess so you could see the cars, but all the cool stuff on the side of the road is to the right. It's not that cool. It's like some baby deer back there, and then like the Vince Lombardi rest area, which is technically not cool. So I guess there's not anything cool happening. These guys, I'm letting these guys go. We'll probably see them later when we get to the congestion and they don't know what's going on, because a lot of truck drivers are not very good drivers. Unfortunately, they're just probably inexperienced, or they're in unfamiliar territory. I think any truck driver drives bad in unfamiliar territory. So, they got like speed now, but in like 5 minutes, they're going to come into a situation where they need to go around somebody, they've been behind me working up the nerve to go around me for like 5 or 10 minutes. They've just been back there, you know. It should not take them 5 or 10 minutes to go around me, but they're trying to figure out what's happening because they don't know. But we're going to see them again in the congestion because it gets really tight pretty soon. This whole area through North Jersey is, if you haven't done it a lot of times, it can be difficult to contend with. And even if you have done it a lot of times, I've had a lot of problems with cars in the North Jersey area. I think one of the scariest things was, you know, somebody brake checked me. It was a drunk. I could see that they were drunk, and they were in the next lane over, and I was kind of watching them, and I was just trying to get around them. But then when it came time for me to get around them, they didn't want me to go around them. I guess they wanted me to crush them. I don't know what they wanted, but they put themselves into my lane and then slammed on the brakes. But all the other truck drivers, they were way far behind me because we'd gone through the crunch and through the congestion, and all the truck drivers had gotten confused and fallen back. And then so they weren't like right on top of me. The camera's going on and off. Like, why is this guy talking to himself so much? I'm recording an audiobook, sir. The trucker in my rear, he's upset, but I need to get around this Amazon guy. So I don't know. He's got speed. He might be able to get through there. You're gonna get through there, buddy? This guy's gonna come up through here. Good for him. Maybe not. He's thinking about it. I don't know. I think he was thinking for too much time. I don't know. He wants to. I gotta get around this fucking Amazon truck, so I don't know. And see, now this guy, he wanted to get around me on the right so bad that now I cannot go back into the right lane and let him around without cutting him off, which maybe he would prefer that. But then people don't know how to reciprocate courtesy. So if I do put myself back over there, yeah, all right, I'm going to do it. And so hopefully he'll go around me. I'm going to wait for him to pull out into the next lane over, and then I'm going to drop my speed back down. But see, now he's not pulling back out over there. And so I keep my speed up to not upset him. But he had, you know, his opportunity to go around me. So now I got to drop my speed down because this Amazon guy, that's not an Amazon driver. That's an owner-operator pulling an Amazon trailer. Amazon drivers are usually very slow, but the owner-operators who pull their trailers are completely unpredictable. That doesn't matter. The cars are rolling good. The guy behind me is dumb. He was in a big hurry to pass me when I didn't want him to. Now I want him to pass me. He doesn't want to. He doesn't have enough brains to get into the next lane over. And now we're coming up onto an on-ramp, and there's going to be a big mess at this on-ramp, and he's going to pick that time to come around me. Hopefully not. I don't know. So he's going to try and like peg me into this oncoming traffic at this ramp, I think. Whatever he's doing, it's all right. Fuck that. I'm going to not let him do it. He's not doing anything is what he's doing. He should have been doing some stuff. He did not do anything. This car is kind of a drag. I don't know. All right, so sometimes my job requires a little bit of concentration. So I am at the moment concentrating. I would like to get back over that tractor trailer behind me, who should not be behind me. He is technically faster than me. He just doesn't have enough brains to go be faster than me. So he's struggling, but he's on my tail, so I have to think about him back there struggling. Even though I wanted him to go, you know, because now I think he's gonna go to this rest area because he's visibly confused. He doesn't know what to do with anything. So, or I'm hoping he'll go to this rest area because certainly would appreciate not sharing the road with him anymore. Yeah, he's gone. He was confused. He didn't know what's happening. So he's like, I'm just going to go try again in a few minutes. Grover Cleveland rest area, everybody. Very impressive. This guy's got his blinker on. Does he know his blinker is on? Is he going to change lanes? Is he not going to change lanes? I'm going to try and reset this traffic flow as soon as I clear this ramp. All right, there's nobody in this ramp. I'm going to drop my speed back down because I had the cruise control on, so I had the speed up, so I was getting up into this crunch up there. You can see there's congestion up there. If I hit that congestion with in full speed, then I got no options of what to do. And also, if I drop my speed down, the congestion will go off a little ways into the distance, which will help theoretically alleviate some of the congestion. While I'm hanging back, they're figuring out what's happening up there and clearing out some of that congestion. We're getting into North Jersey. This is where I used to turn on the music. But I got so used to doing this that I really don't turn on the music anymore until the George Washington Bridge. But because the music is like when you can't pay attention to an audiobook because there's too many things happening that you can't hear the words of the audiobook anymore. So that's when I'll turn on the music, is when I can't pay attention to what's being said anymore. The Big Brother box in the truck is watching me, but it's coming on and off and on and off. I think the connection is loose, but whatever. They're probably wondering what's going on. I don't know what the Big Brother box thinks. It'd be nice if they would talk to us, but they just like sit there in silence. You don't know if they're there or not there. It's very creepy. But nobody ever said Big Brother was not creepy. What was I talking about? Oh, just dropping my speed down, I guess. Oh, the music and how you can't hear audiobooks or podcasts because too many things start happening. There's methodology you could use to move through traffic fluidly. But when you get into urban areas, all of the mathematics break down. There's an algebraic equation that you're doing in your head when you're driving. You're trying to solve for space. Speed really doesn't matter. If you go slow or you go fast is irrelevant because you don't need speed. You need space. Even if you're in a big hurry, I drive around slow all the time. I still make pretty good time because everybody who's going fast, they still get slowed down in congested areas because they don't know how to navigate through congestion. And so I'll drive slow and I'll still get where I'm going faster than somebody who's got, if I'm doing 62 and they're doing like 68, but they don't know how to move through the congestion and I know how to move through the congestion, then I'm still going to get where I'm going faster than they are. So speed is really not what you want. What you want is space. You want nobody in front of you, nobody behind you, nobody near you. And the only way you can do that is to have the people who are faster than you out ahead of you and the people who are slower than you back behind you. And as soon as you pull into a rest stop, it's going to get all screwed up and you're going to have to do it all over again. Or if you have to climb a mountain, it's going to get all screwed up and you're going to have to do it all over again. But on these long stretches of road, you go around the people who are slower than you and you let the people who are faster than you go around you without racing them. Racing people should be a sin. I mean, you're just a dirtbag. If somebody tries to get around you and you speed up to make their life difficult, you're going to get what you deserve because you're going to create a dangerous situation. The people that don't let people get around them and they speed up when somebody's passing them, they've been, pussyfooting around, putting down the road, and then somebody tries to get around them and then they speed up and they match their speed. especially when it's a car and you're in a tractor trailer and the car is going slow and then you need to get around them and then they speed up to be just slightly faster than you, and now they have attached themselves to you like some kind of sucker fish, and it's extremely dangerous. And the way it ends with a lot of these jerks is when something terrible almost happens. It takes a near miss to snap them out of their nonsense when they match your speed and they ride along with you, and then there's no space. All of a sudden they get into this situation where they're about to collide with somebody, or somebody coming onto the interstate needs that area, and they're just occupying that space because now the space is lessened. There's less space because they're taking up a whole bunch of space when I was trying to go around them. And if they let me go around them, it create lots of space around them, it create lots of space around me. And it's not just that I'm not explaining it exactly correctly, the problems that it causes when people speed up when you try to get around them. I'll probably talk about it in the future a lot, but no, what it is it's just bad. Just don't do it. You got to let people who are faster than you go be faster than you. I understand it's a reflex for some people. They have no impulse control, and and they're in la la land, and then they wake up and they see relative motion and they want to match the relative motion because they've got like hive mind brains. I don't know what goes on in the heads of those people. They're not my favorite people. They might be among my least favorite people. But anyways, for you yourself, you want faster people up ahead and slower people back behind. And then you will have space around you until you get to a congested area when everything breaks down. Because when you get to a congested area, people are old, people are young, people are drunk, people are on drugs, people are foreigners, people are urban, people are liberals. They've got problems, and they drive like people who have problems. And you'll see up in the Bronx, I think the worst drivers in the United States live in the Bronx. They get onto the interstate and they think it's a country road. They're Sunday driving Miss Daisy down the interstate in the Bronx. So you'll see how I do it later when I get there. But anyways, my point is, so there's really no reason to be in a hurry to get into a place, because when you're approaching the place, everybody around you is going to get confused and scared, and they're going to second guess their moves, and they're going to start, getting stuck in each other's orbits, and they're going to create congestion. It only takes two people to create congestion. Congestion starts with two people, and it becomes 3 and 4 and 8 and 16 and 32 and 64. But, it started with two people who couldn't get out of each other's way. So there's no hurry to there's no reason to be in a hurry getting into a place. Where we're going, the stretch of road between New York City and New Haven, Connecticut, is the most congested stretch of highway in the United States. And I can tell you from driving on it that it's not for the faint of heart. This box truck, of course, got in front of me and then slowed down, so that's great. But in his defense, I might have been slipping. This guy might have caught me sleeping. I was just chilling out. But also, I can tell he's a dick because he just wants to be faster than this U-Haul, and this U-Haul just wants to be faster than that box truck, and they don't know what's going on. So this box truck is going to speed up when he realizes that the U-Haul is still there. He thought he lost them. But anyways, they don't know what's going on. I don't care as long as they get out of my way. So there's no reason to be in a hurry going into a place. And we are going into a place. We're for like 100 miles, we're going into a place. We're not going out of a place until we get out of New Haven. Because you're going into the Bronx. And then from the Bronx, you're going into, I don't even know what they called it, New Rochelle. And from New Rochelle, you're going into, you know, all those Connecticut towns. Fuck these people. I'm not doing this. Well, whatever. The camera's mad at me. So, you know, it's a whole thing. I actually have to pay attention to what's happening here because you'll notice 3 box trucks can't get out of each other's way. And look at all these trucks up here. Remember I said we'd see them later? Well, there they are, you know. Yeah. The roads were all, you know, nice and hunky-dory. Last time I did this, it was in the middle of the night. So I was able to, like, be talking a lot. But I'm probably not going to be able to talk that much pretty soon because I got to watch all these people and things. I mean, see, how many trucks is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One of them is going to jump out in front of us. But that's, every single one of them should have passed the first one. The second one should have passed the first one. The third one should have passed the first 2. The fourth one should have passed the first 3. None of them passed each other, so that's congestion. This guy's jumping out in front of us, but he's dumb. He's going to slow down there. This is a 2-lane ramp. I'm going to jump around him at the last second so that he doesn't jump out in front of me, which he's going to do it anyway. Probably. Hopefully not. He's not going to know it's a 2-lane ramp, so he's going to think he needs to get in front of me for the ramp. All right, good. That did not happen. That was just my imagination because it happens a lot. So a lot of the times when you're, you know, projecting scenarios, they're just based on what's happened a lot in the past. I didn't. That's what I have to say. I have to say, I didn't, like Christopher from The Sopranos, because I looked at New York City. And if I don't say I didn't, like Christopher from The Sopranos, then I'm going to have bad luck. I'm going to have some kind of weird New York City problem, which if you spent any time around here, you know that that's always a possibility to have weird New York City problems. So it's important not to look directly at it because then the demons that live over there are going to see you and they're gonna, you know, you're gonna get their attention unless you have some kind of superstition to break the spell of the demons. My superstition for the New York City demons is to say, I didn't, like Christopher Moltisanti from The Sopranos. Speaking of The Sopranos, we're pretty much there. This is North Jersey. This is where Christopher Moltisanti would be burying a body under one of these overpasses, you know. But anyway, it's nice and clear for the time being. We have like 30 seconds to catch our breath because we left a bunch of, you know, low skill drivers back there. And then there's another one up here who's I think this is one of our guys. I can't see what that truck says, but no, it's not. It's he's coming from where I just came from, but congestion ahead, reduced speed. Probably, yeah. Anyway, but he's not one of our guys. He's one of their guys. So I don't really want to talk about who I work for. I don't have anything nice to say about them. And if you don't have anything nice to say, you shouldn't say anything at all. GPS is warning me that there's a sudden stop ahead. We're going to have to go around this guy, which, you know, sucks, but that's just the way it is. He's going really slow. I can see his speed. He's doing 44 and I'm doing 57. So there's no reason to wait until the last second. It's just because if I waited to, to make the jump around this guy, because you're not supposed, this is a no-no lane, but that really doesn't mean anything. You really need the no-no lane. It's not even safe to obey that sign that says don't do this. A lot of signs are dangerous. Speed limits, in my opinion, are dangerous because they make everybody brainless, and you need to be participating in your is that guy? No. You need to be participating in what's happening, and speed limits give everybody a reason to like zone out and not participate in what's happening. Now this four-wheeler up here, he's going under the speed limit. I need to jump around him. I don't want to screw over this car, but this car is not going to go around me. He's just going to sit around back there in my tail, so I got to screw over the car and jump out in front of the car to get around this guy. And so now he's offended, but he was just sitting around on my tail, not making any moves. And, you need to go around the truck driver. Don't be near it, because you're going to have a bad time. People think trucks are just going to sit there and not do anything. But, I mean, we're always making moves. We are passing through. We are not on a lark. We are not, we are not having a joyride. We are not experiencing joy. This does not spark joy. We are passing through. So if you're just, hanging around, doing your thing, don't forget to like and subscribe to my Rosie the Literacy Clown Storytime show. Everybody, I didn't. Yeah, Rosie the Literacy Clown, show it to your kids. What was I talking about? I don't know. I got distracted plugging my clown show. That's really why I'm doing this, is a way to get promotion for my clown show, which YouTube kind of decided that my clown show was going to rot, indefinitely. I don't know. I tried to make a nice thing for all the children, and YouTube's like, yeah, instead, how about you just have zero success? Some people have all the luck, and I am not one of them. I think that's, look at these guys. Go get them, Tiger. They're moving. That guy's got no headlights on. That's cool. Do I have headlights on? Yes. My headlights are always on. I don't know why I need to ask that. I don't know what I was talking about back there. Oh, yeah, we're passing through. So even these urban areas where everybody's confused and overwhelmed, that's, what it's like? It's like driving through snow. Driving through congestion is like driving through snow. It's very difficult, except that's one of the nice things about traffic. But the nice thing about traffic is that it's not dangerous, really. When you're just crawling along in traffic, it's not dangerous. And you can, like, if you need to go through New York City and you don't want to hit the traffic and you take I-287, I think that's it. Or, yeah, maybe. So if you take the road that goes all the way through Jersey up into Connecticut to get around New York City, that's an extra hour of driving versus, it's about 1 hour of traffic, when it's bad. But that whole extra hour, you're either sitting and crawling or you're flying down the road at 65 miles an hour. And it's safer to just be sitting and crawling along in traffic. It sucks, but it's not dangerous. However, congestion is very dangerous. But you don't need to be in congestion. People live their whole lives. This is the quiet desperation of the commuter is, they will suffer for their whole life for an hour a day or 2 hours a day, sitting in traffic that's created by people just like them doing just what they do, which is not participating in their environment. They're just, they're on autopilot to just sit and crawl But traffic is caused by congestion, and congestion is caused by brain dead people who probably, let's be realistic, should not be driving anyways, you know. So these people that cause the congestion, cause the traffic, they shouldn't even have driver's license, but they do. And but we don't need to be sitting in traffic down south. Not everywhere, but they have enough sense to move at this, you know, to keep it moving. You'll see that you'll be in congestion down south, but they're all doing 75 miles an hour. So there will be hundreds and hundreds of people all around. The tractor trailer can't go that fast. But all the people down there, you know, there's hundreds of them doing, it's a beautiful thing to see because you'll never see it up north. Up north, you got one guy doing 45, one guy doing 55, one guy doing 65, one guy doing 95, one guy doing 25. You know, everybody's just moving along at a different speed. And then they wonder why they can't get anywhere. I mean, it's just ridiculous. We're going to have to go around these people. There's like a bottleneck up here. There's a construction zone and a bottleneck. This is kind of where it starts. Actually, this looks like it's going to be bad. And I'm trying to guess which lane is going to open up for this traffic jam. I'm going to bet on the left lane for the best lane to get through the traffic jam. And I'll tell you my reasons for that when we get up into it. Reduce speed, road work ahead. Oh, I might have picked the wrong one. I was betting on the left lane to open up because it splits off to go to I-80 up there a little bit. But there's no way to know which lane is going to be the good lane or the bad lane. I mean, sometimes there is a way to know, but sometimes there's not a way to know. And when you see yourself coming up on a traffic jam, you got to make your decision really quick. Because if you don't make your decision right when you see the traffic jam, then your decision gets made for you. Ramp closed. What does that mean? So for right now, at the moment, it looks like I made kind of a halfway decent call about which lane to pick. But that doesn't mean anything. In the end, you know, you can only get so lucky with traffic jams. Even the people who get lucky, eventually they hit the crunch. Sometimes like, you know, the right lane will be, everybody will get piled up. In my last video, the microphone was dead, but there was a good example of that where, you know, I was in the right lane anyways, and everybody got over to get in line for the construction zone, and they created this big long line for no reason, because you don't need to merge until the merge point. That's why it's called the merge point. But, you know, people, they merge ahead of time, and it creates this big long line, and then you're the jerk because you're cutting the line. And sometimes I'll even sit in those lines if I don't have anything going on. But a lot of the times I do have things going on, especially that last time I had a lot of work to do that night. That was a bad day, actually. But whatever. So, I don't know. But yeah, eventually you hit the crunch, and even if you're in the lucky lane, once you hit that crunch, you're not gonna go anywhere or get in. You're not gonna get out of it. But sometimes you do. I have like a 50-50 shot with traffic jams. You know, I either get it right or I don't get it right. Sometimes I get it right, sometimes I don't get it right. But even then, you're not gonna get that far down the road. But that night, the other night, when I cut that whole line, it wasn't like on purpose. I just stayed in my lane until the merge point, like you're supposed to do. But I ended up cutting like ahead of probably about, you know, 100 trucks. Eventually, when I pulled over to take a break, all those trucks went past me, and I was just behind them again anyways. So that's the other thing, is I'm gonna let this guy over because I'm not a jerk. Well, I mean, it's the right thing. You gotta let people over. That's, if they're blinking, you have to let them over. If they're not blinking, you can do whatever you want. Because people need to learn how to blink, I guess. But yeah, if you do manage to get out ahead of everybody, uh, don't pull over. I mean, that's kind of a truck driver tip. That doesn't really apply to driving. We haven't seen, it's remarkable because I've seen fewer bad drivers on that trip through North Jersey than probably ever before in the history of things. But again, that's just the calm before the storm because they're all, they're all in the bars. All the bad drivers they're having a good time. They're not out on the roads yet. They'll be out on the roads later, when they're all screwed up. But even by North Jersey standards, everything just went really easy for that ride through North Jersey until we got to here anyways. Now it's, fucked up. I kind of, I don't know how to leave this on, how long to leave the live stream on for, because traffic jams are really boring. And then I gotta carry the conversation through the traffic jam. But I mean, we're trying to get out of the traffic jam. I don't want to stop the live stream before we get, and also it's my understanding that sometimes live streams just go on and on and on and on forever. I would like to do some audience interaction for, all 2 or 3 people who rolled through and hung around. I appreciate you. The average, I saw some analytics, the average person who came and checked out my previous live stream stayed for 55 seconds. So they were like, I'm going to watch this truck driver talk to himself for 55 seconds, but then I'm going to get out of here. But this guy, see, no blinker. So I had no warning that he was going to do that. It's good to give people warning, but he was probably moving too fast to hit his blinker. I do that too when I'm in my 4-wheeler. If I'm trying to move fast, it's weird because it does take like a split second to hit your blinker, and sometimes you don't have that split second. So I'm not even mad at that guy because I totally understand. It seems weird that you wouldn't have a split second, but and it's not even true. It just feels like you don't have a split second to hit your blinker. You probably do, but whatever. It doesn't matter. So yeah, all these people are going up in North Jersey. There's it looks like more traffic than it is. You're going to see, because all these people, they're going to, I don't know what's over there, Route 46, Palisades Park. I don't know what any of that crap is. But yeah, there's a way to like sneak past all this crap. It's funny because you memorize the traffic jams. Certain traffic jams are habitual. I don't know what you would call that. Or they're just, they're a product of, civil engineering. They're just by design. Certain traffic jams are by design. There's just not enough space to accommodate all these people trying to go over to over there. They all really want to get over there. I don't know. It just sucks. Sucks to be them. But so that's not our problem. We just hang out in the no-no lane. There's a guy behind me, but he's behind me. And you might notice that I don't think too much about the cars, because the cars, they're supposed to be taking care of themselves, and if they're not taking care of themselves, then yeah, they're going to become a problem. I don't think about them unless they're becoming a problem. But I do think about the other truck drivers. But the truck driver behind me, if he was worth his salt, he would be ahead of me. He's behind me because I picked the right lane in the traffic jam. Anyways, but people, they really don't like to be behind you. It's terribly inconveniencing for them to be behind you, even though they put themselves there by not knowing how to be ahead of you. If they knew how to be out ahead of you, they would be out ahead of you. And then they're mad that they're behind you, but it's like, that's your fault. You were pussyfooting around long enough for me to appear on the scene. Now you're bummed out that I don't even know where the fuck that guy went. He's going to sneak around. There's like a sneaky way to do the approach to the George Washington Bridge, because this is like the express thing. You're supposed to be in the express lane when you're doing all trucks to New York. But there's local exits if you split off over that way. And a lot of truck drivers think they're going to go do the trick on the local thing and then cut around and meet up back before the bridge, which sometimes, I mean, they do get really lucky doing that. It's not even luck. It does work for them sometimes. I don't ever do that because I don't think it's worth it. I think it's kind of like cheating. Or there's something about it I just don't like. I'd rather go. Sometimes the traffic can stretch all the way this far back from the bridge, though, and when that happens, that sucks. And the guys that do that, the little trick to get to the George Washington Bridge, it's a nifty little trick. Sometimes, other times, I don't know. I'm just not interested in it. All right, so I got to run up this hill. This car in front of me, I'm hoping that he will go. He's going the exact same speed I am. Just go a little bit faster, dude. A little bit faster. But even that, there's all those cars up there. I'm hoping those cars will keep moving until I hit the hill. And then the hill is going to slow me down, and then the speeds will match up. Because the thing about slowing down is there's a couple of things about it. Is you lose your momentum. This is truck driver stuff. But you lose your momentum, and also you got to keep your forward, even in four-wheeler, you got to keep your forward momentum because behind you there is a wall of steel, like a tsunami wave that's just waiting. This fucker he's not passing me. I had to cut in front of some guy, but he was just sitting around in my zone. I can see when they do that, and then they get mad when I pull in front of them. But they just been sitting on my corner, my tail corner, not passing me. And it's like, if you don't pass the truck is going to need that lane. And then, just don't be near the truck. How hard is it? Don't be near it. If you're behind it, go be in front of it. If you're in front of it, go be further in front of it. Or if you want to be behind it, go be further behind it. Just don't be near it. There's nowhere safe near a tractor trailer. Everywhere is dangerous near a tractor trailer. And there's lots of tractor trailers on the road. So if you're thinking, what am I supposed to do? There's too many of them. Well, figure it out. You're in a car. Just keep going. Or stay in the slow lane. Nobody cares what you do in the slow lane. If you're in the right lane, you can do whatever you want. That's the rules. So if you're scared or confused, and you don't want to be involved in what's going on, just stay your ass over to the right. And you're allowed to do whatever you want as long as you're over to the right. Them's the rules. But as soon as you start dicking around with the left lane, truck drivers have an excuse because we have limited options. This is what cars don't realize. Cars have lots and lots of options. In every scenario, cars have like multitudes more options than tractor trailers. We have very few options of what we can do. Or maybe there's only really two options. You could speed up or slow down. Cars can speed up or slow down. Tractor trailers cannot speed up. They are, maybe they can, but most likely they cannot. So anyway, this is the George Washington Bridge traffic for the day. It's reading at 9 minutes. I don't know whether to keep the live stream going or not. I would like to look at comments. I don't know if there's comments. I don't know who I'm kidding. It's funny because if I don't really look at the phone, I can pretend that there's like an audience there. But if I actually looked at the phone and I saw how little audience there was, I would be disenchanted. But maybe I should, because I don't know. It's nice. It'd be nice to talk like running through the Bronx and getting out into Connecticut. The exciting part is what happens out in Connecticut. I think next time I do this live stream, I'm going to wait until I get to the George Washington Bridge and then turn it on so that I can film going up into Connecticut, because I want to do driving lessons for people. And the part where you're coming out of New York City and going up into Connecticut, that's where all the the really bad situations occur that we can learn from. You know, this person, something Uruguay. I think there used to be a heart. You probably can't. I mean, there's no way you're going to see that bumper sticker, but this guy has a bumper sticker that says I something Uruguay. Actually, that might be a one. One vanished heart Uruguay. So this guy's cool. He's just hanging around. Sometimes there's a mango lady walking around. She's probably gone by now. If we were here like an hour ago, there's a mango lady that's selling mangoes. And oh my God, she has the best mangoes in the world. I don't know how she does it. Fucking yuppie. You see that yuppie? What a queef. Anyways, the mango lady's probably not there. But if the mango lady was there, I'd be buying some. You know what's cool is I actually get to go home. They wanted to send me back down into Pennsylvania with another load because they know I'm going on paternity leave pretty soon. And I think they were like, let's get as much work out of this guy as we can before he totally screws us over. But I was like, my wife has doctor's appointments. I got to go home, you know. My wife is super pregnant, which is great. But they tried to give me like more work than they ever give me. Like this is when I'm always going home at this time. And then they were like, all right, well, you instead of going home like you normally do, how about you just do 33% more work for the week? I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I don't know. But I have a good job. They really trapped me at this company by giving me a good job. And I want to be cool with the management. Probably not cool with management. We had one passive aggressive guy, but he started making a lot of mistakes. And I'm pretty sure he was drunk for like a month or two. And now it seems like he disappeared. So as long as that guy's gone, I like everybody else that's in the management, even though I'm not exactly happy with the way operations are conducted. I am somewhat happy with them. Aren't we supposed to be talking about anything important? Let's talk about Uruguay. Do we know where Uruguay is? I'm assuming Uruguay is in South America. It sounds like Uruguay. I'm a little insulted right now. And that maybe that's not an I heart Uruguay. Maybe that's a one Uruguay. Point number one, Uruguay. I'm not a gay. You're a gay. And we got these Christian dudes over here. What does this say? Fort of Independence. Church of God of Fort Independence. Where is that? I don't know where Fort Independence is. There's a JB Hunt guy moving. You know, I used to have hopes and dreams. I don't know where they went. But boy, if this was 15 years ago, I could tell you about some hopes and dreams, my dudes. Now my only hope and dream is to get home eventually. I don't even know when that's gonna happen. There's a Camaro over there, but I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. You turn on the YouTube and everybody's going wild. There's so many things going down in the world. But I mean, like AI. AI is like, I love talking about AI, and I like how there's so many videos about AI. AI is super interesting, you know. Maybe it'll just fizzle out as it takes all of our jobs here, right? But you know, that's one thing about the AI is all of my problems that I have at my job are human error. Everywhere I go, I'm running into problems created by human error, and the artificial intelligence is going to, you know, to a greater or lesser degree, eliminate human error. And so a lot of people are afraid of artificial intelligence taking their jobs, but a lot of you suck at your jobs and make my life difficult. Is that a broad? I think there's a broad in there. There's This is a family broadcast. Sorry, I'm ripping off Paulie. Whatever. My inspiration is Paul Unslaved, so I use a lot of his terminology sometimes. I can't help it. Anyways, what was I talking about? Oh, I want artificial intelligence to take all your jobs because you suck at your jobs. And you're always making my life difficult by sucking at your jobs. And God, I know you need jobs, but I'm trying to do mine. I'm actually doing something. These people that I'm having problems with are clerks, and middle management types. And everything they do can be automated so easily. It's just, we're almost there. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. I won't have these problems with these people that I've been having for as long as I've been trucking for this company. So I'm really looking forward to AI taking their jobs. They say AI is going to take the truck driver's job. Good luck. I'll believe it when I see it. I know it's happening. I don't know what the hell the freaking AI would do in this situation. I mean, it's not that complicated, but the AI would be over probably in the middle lane. It can't really react to anything, can it? I don't know. I feel like it would be really jerky. I'd be like, the AI would be like, stop, go, stop, stop, go, 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 stop, go, stop, 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 go, 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 stop, stop, stop. I feel like the AI would be a really wonky driver. Because like even the cruise control on this truck, when it's hitting the Jake brake, it's very silly the way it uses the Jake brake, because it goes like when I do it, I'm just going like and let off. But when the freaking cruise control is using the Jake brake, it goes like, Jesus, dude. All right, so that ought to be the worst of the traffic. Not all of the traffic, but the worst of the traffic. So this is the George Washington Bridge. Once in a while, they have it lit up. All right, so I don't know why I said that was the worst of the traffic, because I'm pretty sure that this is the worst of the traffic now. So that was the worst of that traffic, and now this is the worst of this traffic. It's two different traffics from 45 seconds ago to now. Sometimes they have the George Washington Bridge lit up, and it looks really nice. It must use like a lot of electricity or something, and they don't have it in the budget to light up the bridge, which I don't understand that. I mean, how hard is it to light up a bridge? It looks a lot nicer. It's a lot less depressing. When you come through the George Washington Bridge and it's all lit up, you feel like slightly hopeful for humanity. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So, if you're in a tractor trailer and you're running through New York, you got to use the no-no lane. Did you see the fireworks? There's fireworks over in the distance. They're probably not going to show up. I know I should be cleaning my window. Next week when I do this, I'm going to clean my window. And eventually, pretty soon, I'm going to be on paternity leave. I'm not even going to be doing this live stream that much. I might live stream some other stuff, like some clown stuff. I don't know. I was supposed to be like, this channel was originally inspired by Mark Passio. I don't know if you know who that is, but he was the guy who's like, you got to do something. He's like, just whatever it is, just do something to try and make the world a better place, because the world's got so many problems, and and all these people, they don't do anything to solve the problems. But then I started watching Paul Unslaved, and he was like, Mark Passio's not doing anything for the problems either. He's still got license, registration, insurance. He's still paying the slave tax. And I'm like, well, I'm paying the slave tax too. We're all caught up in the slavery, that's been going on for thousands of years. This is just the modern day expression of a situation that's been going on since the dawn of civilization, which on my last stream I was talking about the civilization before our civilization. That was probably after the microphone died, and I'm wondering if maybe the microphone is dead now. I don't even know, because I charged it, so it should be alive. But that's going to be really crummy if I find out that I was talking all this talking, and again, it didn't get recorded. But it would be typical. So anyways, we're a bunch of slaves. Some of us, most of us are dumb slaves. Some of us are smart slaves. Apparently one of us is unslaved. All unslaved is no longer slaved, which is good for him. I got a buddy who's also unslaved, but he's in the small hat club, so he has like small hat gold. He pretends he doesn't have small hat gold, but he does have small hat gold. But he's not a slave. But I don't know. The rest of us are, We're definitely locked into it. We're tied down, shackled, shackled our minds and bent on the cross or something. When ignorance reigns, life is lost. Rage Against the Machine, right? Ah, man. Normally I roll down the music. I roll down the window and I blast some music going through here. There's just something nice about summertime driving when you can roll down the window and blast the music, and you can like feel the fresh air, and and just tune out what's going on. Blasting the music in traffic is like stupid, but blasting music when you're tiptoeing through the tulips. You see this guy with his blinker? Is he gonna go or not go? Why does he need so much time? He turned his blinker on and didn't freaking come over, and he's gonna wait until I'm on top of him, and then he's gonna what? Why is your blinker up blinking? I don't understand. I slowed down for him to get over, and he just didn't move. Whatever. I don't care. Oh my god. That sounded bad. I don't like we really nailed something. It was just a pothole. It's just a pothole, but it sounded like a bad pothole. I feel like I can hear the air puffing out of my seat. I don't know, but I love this truck because I've had a lot of miles in this truck. How many miles did I do in this truck so far? It's at 172. It was at I think 107 when I got it. So I've done 65,000 miles in this truck, which is, that's quite a bit amount of miles. Actually not that many miles. Maybe it's 104. It was when I got it. So it was 165. Maybe I've done like 69 dudes amount of miles, 69,000 in this truck. But so I'm a little bit attached to it, but it's getting kind of wonky. It's getting some idiosyncrasies that I'm not too happy about. All right, so now we're coming to the no-no lane. They tell you don't be in this lane, but why would you not be in this lane? You're not supposed to, because supposedly it holds people up, but nobody holds up the four-wheelers more than the four-wheelers hold up the four-wheelers. It's not the tractor trailers that are holding you up. There's millions of you and like a few of us. We are not the problem. The cars are the problem, So there's really, anyways, I was trained when I went through my training for this company. I rode around with an old timer. He had like 27 years or something, and that was he's probably, he's over 30 years driving now. He's a good guy. But anyways, he said, when you run through this zone, you just stay in the left lane. There's no reason to even go screw around with those other lanes. And they're actually, those other lanes are moving better than they usually do. They're usually not moving at all. But I think that's because, I don't know, it could be for any reason. This is New York City, so a lot of things happen in this area. A lot of disabled vehicles you'll see. Check out that Corvette. It's a badass Corvette, dude. There's a lot of disabled vehicles in the Cross Bronx zone. Hold on. I'm trying to scope out this Corvette. Ugh, gross. So, anyways, I don't know how long live streams are supposed to be, because the live streams I watch, they're like, 2, 3, 4 hours long, 5 hours. I guess live streams can be as long as you want them to be. It really doesn't matter. But it'd be funny to watch a live stream of being stuck in traffic. But I really want to get through the traffic with the stream going, because I'll turn the live stream off if I hit traffic up in Connecticut, because it's kind of different. But I want, that's the exciting driving, because I don't know, this corporate job, you don't ever really get to like feel the thrill of 18 wheeling like you would if you had like a mom and pop job. It's like the mom and pop, I did a mom and pop job for like 3 years before I moved back to the East Coast from the West Coast. And that mom and pop job on the West Coast, that truck went 72 miles an hour. And, I could fly in that thing. And, that was where I really learned how to do this. And that's what they don't understand about these slow trucks. You don't really learn the concept of relative motion going slow. You really need to be moving at high speeds to understand the finer points of the relative motion conundrum. Because if you understand relative motion, then you're gonna understand fluidity when driving. Just who's faster, who's slower, and that's, for me, that was something I learned in a high-speed truck that I don't think I would have ever figured out in a low-speed truck. And also, you need to test limits and push boundaries, and it's easier to do that at high speeds, to learn what is and what is not possible. Because if your high speed is a low speed, you're not really going to have as much frame of reference. But I don't know. It's the whole thing. I do, I don't care if slow drivers drive slow, as long as they stay in their, zone. Keep that slow driving in the slow area. That's four-wheelers. I don't care what tractor trailers do, because tractor trailers got different considerations. And like, look at this guy. Are you gonna change lanes or no? He wants me to like come to a stop so he can move over. I think this is that same guy as the last time that turned his blinker on for no reason. What was I talking about? I don't know. I lost my train of thought. That's that, I guess. Man, that thought is not ever coming back. If you were listening to what I was saying, please type it in there and tell me what I was saying, and then I'll get back to it the next one. Skill. Some people are meant to be driving slow and should not be driving fast. But as long as you know your skill level, I think you'll be all right. Driving is a lot like playing a video game, it's hand-eye coordination. And is a big part of it. And I was always good at video games when I was a kid. And I think about that when I think about driving. My whole job is like a big game, a big weird game. a lot of it is like psychology and problem solving and because everybody else is like they're playing the game too. They're just not very good at it, you know. Like this fucking four-wheeler here. This motherfucker's gonna hold up everybody. He didn't want the fucking tractor trailer to go around him, but he is slower than the tractor trailer. Come on, dude. Keep it moving. Anyways, but yeah, the problem solving, the psychological aspects of my job, those are the lesser factors, you know. Mostly what I do is this, what I'm doing right now. This is mostly, you know, this is the big important thing where, what's it called? Playing video games is probably the best thing for becoming a good driver. Also, you know, being young and wild and free. Because I remember driving around in certain cars that I had that I inevitably destroyed, and you know, driving around in anything I can get my hands on. I learned a lot about driving doing that. Oh, is this the bumps? I hate these bumps, but we're going slow enough that it doesn't matter. As long as we're under 50, the bumps are not so bad. It's when you get over 50 that the bump really freaking suck. Bump, bump, bump. That's the sound of the 50s when they're hitting in my trunk. They bump, bump, bump. With Cottonmouth Kings, and we don't give a fuck. Am I gonna get a copyright thing for that? Nobody's watching my thing. They can't copyright strike my thing because I was singing a song. It's the second time I did that. How would they even know? All right, so that's kind of one of the bullshit aspects of AI, is you're not even allowed to like sing a little song or something, you know? Whatever. I don't know. I don't think anyone wants to hear me singing anyways, or I know they don't actually, because I'm a terrible singer. But all right, is that all the bumps? That's all the bumps. We can move now correctly. All right, so all these people are going to go to Long Island, and we are going to not go to Long Island. But this is why you run this left lane. Because if we tried to fucking be in that middle lane, we would be here forever. I can't even imagine how long it would take to get through this place in the middle lane. Because I don't ever do it. But the other people, they do it. Because this is the no-no lane. But you know what's funny about the signs? Is all these bridges or underpasses or overpasses. Is the underpass the same as an overpass? I can never figure that out. But they're all marked at the wrong height. So a lot of truckers, they come through this place for the first time and they see the bridges are marked at the wrong height. See this height sign up here says 12 foot 10 inches. It's telling you this bridge is 12 foot 10 inches. That is a fucking 18-foot bridge or some shit. I mean, at least 15 feet. It's telling you it's 12 foot 10. What the fuck is that? You know, it's just, it's hard to believe that, you know, we're held to such a ridiculous standard of perfection as truck drivers. 12 foot 10 clearance. They expect us to be, you know, robots, basically. We're supposed to be on top of our game, you know, at all times. I don't know how to say this poetically. I'm trying to say it poetically. They expect perfection, but then they deliver us incorrect bridge heights. You know, like you got to be perfect at all times, but also this sign is wrong all day, every day, forever. This sign will not ever be corrected, and you can all have heart attacks because you're dumb. Oh my God. Come on, dude. Do it or don't do it. Let's go. Fucking. Anyways. So yeah, they can't even change the height of a bridge. But meanwhile, we got to take drug tests. How many drug tests have I taken while that bridge is marked with the wrong height? You know, a lot. I should have passed this guy on the right. This motherfucker ain't even moving. So this is what I was talking about, where the Bronx thinks that it's Sunday driving Miss Daisy all day, every day. Bronx drivers, worst drivers on earth. Here's two of them. This guy doesn't want to pass that guy. That guy's going fucking 43 miles an hour. This guy's going fucking 45 miles an hour. Or at least he sped up. He had to think about it for a minute. I think that's his Tesla. The Tesla's probably fucking driving itself. Teslas are weird because they're the slowest and the fastest cars. Because, you know, when the Tesla is driving itself, it's completely retarded. I saw one in Chicago area. Everybody on the road was doing like 85, 90, 95 miles an hour. And that fucking Tesla was doing 65, just in the middle of all that shit. And the computer was probably driving it. And it's like, who would put themselves into that situation? I can't even imagine. Zoom, bitch. That dude's moving. That's cool. Good for him. So I need to get over left. There's a dude exactly where I need to be. He's speeding up as I speed up. I speed up more. He's going to slow down. I just need to get over. Okay, good. We're good. We're good. I'm going to have to pass this fucking tanker, which sucks. This needs to be exactly in front of me, between me and this tanker. All right, well, you should not be behind a truck and you should not be in front of a truck, but you should really not be between two trucks. But again, Teslas are fucking retarded. So here we are. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to play it cool until we get through this congestion. I mean, I could get around this tanker through this congestion. It's just kind of a dickhead zone because there's like 2 or 3 left exits up there. Now there's 2 Teslas between me and this guy. I need to get, see, so now not only do I need to get around that fucking tractor trailer, I also need to get around 2 dipshit fucking Teslas, and I don't know. I ran out of patience. So I'm just gonna, at this point, I'm just gonna do whatever. Because what you need to understand about this area on Saturday nights, Friday nights, is all these people are fucking drunk. So, there's really no reason. It's nice that tanker guy got out of the middle lane. He didn't need to do that. I wouldn't care if he did do that or didn't do that. So yeah, now everybody's going really fast. They were fucking going 0 miles an hour. Now they're going real fast. I got to figure out exactly how fast they're going. All right, I was worried about that. I do need to get back over into that middle lane. So what I'm doing now, probably you should not do it. I mean, don't emulate this behavior. Also, there will be a lot more behavior you should not emulate in the near future. I'm about to be showing you a lot of behaviors you should not emulate. So I kind of started this. That one's Sparky's. I like when the trailers are sparking. Sometimes you get a sparky trailer. I saw one a few weeks ago that the fucking wheel fell off of it. That was cool. Anyways, yeah. So I was thinking I would do driving lessons to show people, all the bad drivers and what they're doing. But then it occurs to me that I'm like the worst. I'm worse than all of them. Not really though, because I know what's happening. That's how everyone tells you to be afraid of aggressive drivers, but I'm not afraid of aggressive drivers. I'm not afraid of fast drivers, because fast drivers are paying attention to what is happening. It's slow drivers that make me nervous. Slow drivers fucking scare me. Slow drivers are confused. They're fucking oblivious. They have no idea what's happening. They make sudden movements with no warning. Slow drivers are extremely fucking dangerous. And all day, every day, I am terrified of slow drivers. Fast drivers, you see them and then they're gone. I mean, what's the problem with that? And they're paying attention to what's happening, you know? So maybe they cause some accidents, but the slow drivers are causing accidents too. They don't talk about that. I mean, and the other thing is the slow drivers usually cause accidents for other people. Fucking, you know, for people who are doing what they're supposed to be doing. It's the slow driver that's, you know, gets caught up in the mix of some people who are just doing what everybody does all the time, which if they were doing what they should be doing, which is going with the flow, they would not have created that dangerous situation that caused the accident, maybe fucking killed some people, who knows, just because they're dumb and probably shouldn't have a fucking driver's license. I don't know. The more time goes on, that becomes like my new thing, that we should really just take these people's fucking driver's licenses away. It should be a lot more difficult to get a fucking driver's license. Because, and you know, get half these people off the fucking road. And then the people that are left on the road are the ones who actually deserve to be there, you know. But our whole society is contingent upon people moving around in these fucking machines. And also the machines themselves are a whole, you know, industry that's got its own gravity. I don't know, you know, but anyways, just see, I'm playing it cool. Because I don't really have to worry about any tractor trailers behind me. There's just a lot of fucking four-wheelers. None of them are causing too much of a problem. I can see that guy four cars ahead is going too slow. And I think eventually it's all going to clear out and it's just going to be me and that guy 4 cars ahead. And I'm going to have to get around them eventually. But also they might wake up. This guy in front of me right now, he's like deciding if he wants to wake up or go back to sleep. He doesn't know what's going on. So it's not even that guy up there I got to worry about. It's this guy right here. But, you know, I've been playing it cool. And, you know, I've been being nice about it. But you'll see that most of these cars are moving down the road, except for the guy that's directly in front of me. He is coming at us. You know, he needs to be going away from us. That's an example of somebody who is slower than you and you are faster than them, and you need to get around them or else you're going to create congestion. But with the amount of traffic that there is right now in the area that we're in, this is New Rochelle. It's a pretty sketchy zone because the road does like a big S with like a hill in the big S. And I had a truck that kept losing traction. The tires were supposedly fine, but the truck kept losing traction for some reason. And it was pouring rain one time, and I was going the other direction. I was just over there in that spot, and it was a construction zone at the time. And I lost traction with cars all around me. And I think Jesus took the wheel, because it was, you know, by the grace of God or my guardian angel that I didn't, you know, have a problem there. Hey, do you guys believe in angels? Or because I don't know. I used to be like an artist, and I was always like a metalhead. You know, I listened to a lot of heavy metal, which is really, you know, demonic in nature. See, because I didn't go around this guy. Now where the congestion is beginning, I really got to get around this fucking guy. But the problem is that other guy. I can't jump in that right lane because that fucking guy won't go around that fucking guy. So I'm going to have to use the left lane to get around that guy. But everybody else on Earth is using the left lane. Maybe he'll take a hint and fucking wake up when he sees that there is a tractor trailer barreling down on him. That's fucking helpful. All right, I'm not doing this shit. Sorry, everybody. fucking, but you know, these two motherfuckers are pussyfooting around. This one is unpredictable. He's gonna jump out in front of us. No, he's not. But I was worried he was. So I was talking like I knew what he was gonna do, but just because I wanted to be like, oh, I told you, but whatever. Anyways, this I need to get around this guy, but you're gonna see now he's fucking speeding up. He was going ridiculously fucking slow, and now he's got to go really fast because he doesn't want to get passed by the tractor trailer. Which now he's out of his fucking comfort zone. But this guy up here, sometimes you get the assist from the next guy up. But like I said, all these people are fucking drunk. So, you know, there's no tractor trailers around except me. So the rules kind of change depending on the situation. These 45-mile-per-hour signs, that doesn't mean fucking shit. They put those up in construction zones for liability purposes. But in reality, all right, so I passed that guy. All right, now we should be all right for a while with having the slow people behind us and the fast people in front of us. I'm getting in trouble for doing excessive overspeed, but the big brother box is fucking turned off. The fucking wire wiggles out of it. The big brother box that they put in my face to, because that's also how you get in trouble, is when you're doing things, or when you're speeding, it'll fucking report you to the company for speeding. But when the wire fucking slips out of it, can't do jack shit. And there's so many fucking, and it's Saturday night, there's probably not anyone watching. So it takes them, one time it took them like fucking 2 or 3 months to get on my case about the camera. I don't know, the whole thing is stupid. The camera shouldn't even fucking be there. It just makes you fucking guess yourself. So ultimately it's fucking dangerous because you shouldn't be second guessing your decisions. So I know what I'm doing. And then the camera, it makes you second guess everything. And it's like, it's just horrible. Because you shouldn't, second guessing is a bad thing to fucking do. Because your actions are communicating to the people around you. When you're driving, the communication is occurring with, if you slow down, I'll speed up. If you speed up, I'll slow down. But if you speed up and I slow down, and then you slow down and then I speed up, now we have a fucking problem, you know? And so that's caused by second guessing, where you go, you're supposed to be doing tit for tat, tit for tat, tit for tat. But then you go, when you start second guessing things, you're going tit for tat, for tat, for tit, for tit, for tat, for tat, for tat, for tat, for tit, 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 tat, tat, tat. And it gets all out of control. It's fucked up. And that's what the camera causes the fucking drivers to do, is to second guess what they're doing. And also your fucking rate of speed is how you communicate to the people around you. And so it's important to maintain a specific speed, you know. Because it helps everything be predictable. Because you really got to help the four-wheelers with predictability. The tractor trailer, you want it to be as predictable as possible, but the cars are so unpredictable that, you know, there's not a lot you can do about it. So sometimes the tractor trailer will become unpredictable due to the unpredictability of the cars. And also, a lot of people are mad at the trucks all the time, but it's the fucking cars that are causing the problems with the trucks. This fucking car up here, he decided he wanted to slow down and hang around next to that truck. I think he thinks it's fucking fun to sit around and, you know, crowd that fucking tractor trailer. You know, instead of fucking off, he just like lingered. He's just lingering around. So that guy's gonna problem in a few minutes, the one with the dim tail light. I don't know, maybe not. By the time that dim tail light guy causes us any kind of problem, there's gonna be 2 or 3 other problems happening. So I don't know. I'm going around this guy. This guy's chill. Just doing his thing. It's a nice guy, nice and easy. Good vibes only. Trucker. Oh, it's a Lily. That's chill. It's a chill Lily. Truck. I don't know. So yeah, I think I'm still in New York. I would like to be in Connecticut because when you're in New York, you gotta pretend that you're not speeding. You gotta like let off the throttle for no reason, just to pretend that you're not doing what you're obviously doing. That's what I was saying. The other live stream that I did was that I think the way to get away with illicit behavior is to pretend that you're not doing it. I think the trick to wrongdoing is to pretend you're not doing wrong. Not that you should be doing wrong, but I mean, in driving, if you're not doing wrong, then you're doing wrong. With driving, the wrong thing is the right thing, and the right thing is the wrong thing. So, but anyways, you kind of got to pussyfoot through New York, this 20-mile stretch of New York between New Jersey and Connecticut. You kind of gotta pretend you're not doing what you obviously are doing. Oh, I forgot to set in the, what is it? The fuel station. I gotta go get fuel, but I didn't put it into the GPS, which means that I need to put the fucking fuel station in the GPS. But I also need to watch these people because I don't know. I got a little bit of space right now that I can pop this bitch in there. Come on, computer. Please think faster. Milford, Connecticut. Pilot. That's that. Come on, buddy. Calculate. All right, that's that Bronco. See that on the back right? No. All right. So I'm almost out of New York. I can stop pussyfooting around. Come on, buddy. We're 42 miles from the fuel station. So I'll probably run the live stream until we get to the fuel station. Unless we hit some traffic, in which case I'll shut it down. But the GPS is showing that the road is clear, so that's good. We're getting up into Connecticut. I don't know if we're there yet or not, but these dudes are moving. That's good. I want them to be moving, but we're gonna hit the urban people. There's just a mess of urban nonsense for these next 20 miles. I mean, this is really probably my least favorite place to be. It's funny because I do it so much, but I fucking hate it here. And you're gonna see why. I don't know. Most people see this. They're all going so fucking slow. Get the fuck out of the way. There's really nowhere for them to go because they're dumb. They should be driving faster. Man, I can hear that air puffing out of my fucking chair. I think that air leak is becoming worse. That's not good. I might actually have to take the air leak in this chair seriously if it becomes bad. It was just such a small thing that I didn't really think anything about it, but I can hear it when I'm going down the road, then it's probably getting worse. That's not good. All right, so who's behind me? There's some kind of... I can see in the rearview mirror who has clearance lights. So I know what's a big vehicle and what's not a big vehicle in the rearview mirror based on clearance lights. But it looks like a camper or something. Oh, I was trying to say this earlier. The rule with tractor trailers is like, we're looking out for other tractor trailers. and anything that might be slower than us. Because you can't really, anything that's faster than you, even if it's moving slower, who cares? But, and eventually, you really can't extend courtesy to four-wheelers because they're, for one thing, they're too stupid to reciprocate. Courtesy is a two-way thing. Like if somebody does you a courtesy, you have to in turn do them a courtesy. So now I'm getting into the right lane because I don't want to be, because I want more space in front of me. These people are moving slow, and I'm losing my kill zone. I want my kill zone to be nice and big, but these fucking people are moving so goddamn slow down the middle lane. And then this guy over here has got his fucking brakes. So there's something going on up there, which is not good. But so now I'm running out of space in this lane, and I'm running out of space in that, and I got no space in that lane. So I'm just back into the situation. See, it's this fucking van that's going so slow in that lane. So now I'm kind of gambling on what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. I need this guy to fucking fuck off down the road. But he's got people in front of him. There's just too many people around. There's nothing I can do about this shit. They may or may not wake up. I don't know. It's just, how hard is it to drive faster than the fucking tractor trailers? I used to think most people drove fast, but no, most people drive slow. Maybe when I was younger, people drove fast, but eventually they all became completely retarded and started driving slower and slower as their brains were losing potency. So now everybody's really dumb and they drive like they're really dumb because they are. I need to get the fuck out of this lane. Of course, I'm boxed in. That's the other thing when you're a fucking tractor trailer. All these motherfuckers will box you in. They think nothing of it. Fucking, and they do it to each other too, but it doesn't mean anything when they fucking do it to each other. When you're boxing in a tractor trailer, you're fucking taking your life into your own hands, or you're putting your life into that truck driver's hands. And honestly, if you're fucking dicking them over like that, you're boxing them in. You should not ever do that. People do it all the time. They should not ever do it. You're putting your life into the hands of that tractor trailer. And how many accidents I hear about people that are like, I got sideswiped by a tractor trailer. And it's like, why were you besides the tractor trailer? Don't be near it. Go away from it. Don't ever be near it, ever. It's always fucking dangerous. And now you got sideswiped by a tractor trailer because you were too stupid to don't be near the fucking thing. They're always going to be out there. You need them to live. Our whole fucking civilization is contingent upon tractor trailers running around doing stuff, or else you wouldn't have any fucking food to eat, So they're always going to be out there, and they're always going to be dangerous. So you need to not be near them. And if you get sideswiped by one, it's probably your own fucking fault. Because look at this fucking Prius. Yeah, no, dude. He was ready to jump over there without even fucking looking. And then he looked. Like, here I go. No. There you do not go. Did you see all those balloons, though? That was a dope quantity of balloons. I'm something of a balloon aficionado myself, being a clown. Anyways, Rosie the Literacy Clown, that's my children's show. That's why we're doing this driving lessons as a way to promote the clown show that has all of fuck all subscribers. So yeah, it's a children's show. I am a children's entertainer, as you can tell. I'm a good role model for the kiddies, obviously. I need to get around this fucking U-Haul. U-Hauls can be a big problem. I'm not too worried about this one in particular, but in other places at other times, U-Hauls can make things very difficult. So certainly going to be getting around this guy, and I am happy about it. It was a Minnesota U-Haul. I lived in Minnesota for a while. Why did I live in Minnesota for a while? You know, I don't want to talk about it because my wife could be watching. So, anyways, I hope my wife is watching so she understands how the bills get paid. Because until I started doing this fucking live streaming, there was really no way for her to know what my job is like. I don't think she really gets it when I'm driving around in the minivan complaining about the other drivers. But I don't know. I make more mistakes driving around in the minivan than I make driving around in the tractor trailer. Fucking, there's something about being in my personal vehicle. I feel like because I'm on my day off, I just don't even give a shit. And then I start making all kinds of, it's complacency. I make a lot of complacency errors driving around in my four-wheeler. The minivan, I don't fuck up when I'm running around in the GTO too much because the GTO is fast. So I'm always paying attention. But the minivan, I'm just kind of wandering around and I start doing stupid things that I should know better. But it's always my day off and I'm like fucking tired and running errands. And I don't know. What was I talking about? U-Hauls, Minnesota? I don't know. That doesn't matter. So, all right. So there's something behind me. I think, I don't know what it is behind me. It looks like one of those weird little buses, probably like a party bus or something, because it's Saturday night. So anyways, yeah, this truck goes 62 miles an hour. It goes 62 if I'm in a 65 zone, and it goes 62 if I'm in a 55 zone. We had a nice open air. We had like a little bit of space for a little while back there. What was that, Stanford or Norwalk? I always get Stanford and Norwalk confused. I think that was Stanford. Norwalk is up next. Pretty sure. And then this fucking Mustang, he doesn't want to be faster. He doesn't want to be slower. He wants to go the exact fucking speed we're going. I hope he exits. Yes, please exit. Go away. Come on, buddy. You can do it, buddy. Fuck off, buddy. He's gone. Good. But now there's everybody else in the world. So who's gonna pull out in front of the tractor trailer and go slow? This guy's gonna pull out in front of the tractor trailer and go slow. Come on, buddy, you can do it. Yeah, keep going. Fuck off. Thank you. What's that up there? Is that a taxi? You know what's weird is that taxis are like terrible drivers. You would think that a taxi would be like a good driver. That might be a Mustang. I don't know what the fuck that is, but it looked like it was yellow, so I immediately think it's a taxi because it's yellow. But taxis are such bad drivers, and you would think somebody who drives around all the time would be like a good driver, but no, they drive like shit. I don't know what it is about taxis, why they drive bad. But I have a funny story about a taxi company in Oregon. I tried to sign up for this taxi company called EcoCab. And their thing was that they had Teslas. They were doing taxiing in Teslas. And they said no, because I had a little bit of a criminal history. And they said that the DOT wasn't going to hire me, which go figure, because I mean, they fucking hired me to drive a tractor trailer, but couldn't be a taxi driver. And so then the people who could be taxi drivers I found out later I was delivering parts at Napa, or I was about to leave. I was training my replacement when I was delivering car parts at Napa. And she said that she worked for EcoCab. She got hired and she worked there, but they went out of business. All kinds of things happened. For one thing, they kept smashing the Teslas into things. The Teslas were too fast and the drivers kept crashing them. And so the business model was unsustainable because they kept destroying the Teslas. And then the other thing that happened was, all right, so they were stealing the employees' money. They were embezzling the driver's money, which being a tractor trailer driver, I could totally understand that, because the business model of my whole company is to steal as much money from the driver as they can. They make untold millions extra every year just from screwing us out of money. So I get it that a taxi company would be doing the same fucking thing, probably. But also, so they hired a prostitute to be a secretary, and then the prostitute was like turning tricks in the office, and they got shut down by the government. I think they got shut down for I don't remember exactly what happened, but you get where I'm going with this. It was a big, huge fucking mess, and they wouldn't hire me because I have a checkered past, and they were fucking doing worse shit than I ever did. But whatever. All right, so it's looking like we're coming up on an issue. Here's a Jeep. I'm not too happy with Jeeps. They typically suck. This one is no exception. He's going fucking 55 miles an hour, which is too slow, even though it's the speed limit, but that doesn't mean fucking anything. Yeah. All right, so he's speeding up. I needed to get around that pickup truck anyways. And so the question is, if I get back behind this fucking Jeep, is he going? All right, now there's now there's somebody over there. I do need to get over there, dude. I am fucking blinking. All right, let's go. Come on. All right. Now, as long as that Jeep will keep going at that rate of speed, then we're good. People, when they come out of rest areas, there's something about people coming out of rest areas. I think they just had a bunch of cheeseburgers and their fucking brains have turned into cheeseburgers. And they all come out of there like fucking half asleep. It's not the way to do it. Because look, it's easier to fucking step on your brakes than to get up to speed. It's easier to drop down in speed than to go up in speed. So if you get onto the fucking road going really fast, and then you need to go slow, it's easy to adjust to slow. But if you get on there going fucking slow, and then you need to go fast, it takes up time, and you don't have any time because you're already in a bad situation. You don't have the time you need to get out of it. It's just, I don't know. They fucking demonized speed so much, but speed is your best fucking friend when you're driving. Your problem is proximity, space. If you're not making space, and you don't have any space, then you're in congestion. And if you're in congestion, then you're in a problem, And speed is the cure for congestion. Because you let all the fucking dipshits, get all tangled up on each other, and you go around them. This fucking Jeep, he didn't go anywhere. I'm gonna have to get around it. But now he's 1, 2, there's 3. I think that's that van from earlier. But I don't know. There's too much shit happening here. I'm not gonna pass all these fuckers going through Norwalk. That just ain't worth it. So I'm gonna hang back, and hopefully some of this shit will fucking sort itself out. I don't know. It probably doesn't even look like anything, but when you're driving a tractor trailer and it's very heavy, you become hypersensitive to every little arrangement of vehicles and the speeds, and the what each driver is or is not doing, because you never know. I mean, actually, a lot of the times you do know what's going through their head, but usually what's going through their head is fucking, Tweety birds and, you know, like dust in the wind. So a lot of the times they're not thinking. There's a fucking Mercedes that's been dicking around on my tail this whole fucking time. This guy's going slower than me. You fucking suck. Barely up this. I want to get over into this right lane because, well, I want to get over into the left lane, but that's the no-no lane. I don't know. These people might actually start moving. They're not gonna, because there's too many of them. I mean, it's only two now. I guess it's just two. But anyways, well, now it's three because that guy counts for that little cluster of, because they're not fucking off down the road. They're just kind of staying like in my zone where I have to worry about them. If they would fuck off down the road, then, it would make my life easier. I think they're trying to fuck off down the road. You can do it. But I don't know. There's a lot of people coming up from behind. I'm hoping if I just hold my speed, people will keep fucking going, but they're all going to get tangled up on those three cars that are not going anywhere. There's like probably 100 cars behind me that are all going to be on top of me in like 30 seconds. And then they're not going to be able to go anywhere because that cluster of cars in the middle lane up there that's not fucking moving is causing problems for everybody. There's a lot of shit fucking happening here. None of it's good. Half these people are fucking drunk. It's Saturday night. Can't get out of their own way. Can't get out of my way. I mean, the left lane is really dropping the ball here. Because the left lane should be fucking flying, and they're just pussyfooting around. And I need them to go so that things will clear out. Because look at this guy on the right. He's taking matters into his own hands. Good for him, I guess. But if the fucking left lane would move, these people, see, where are they even going to go? They really want to get through there, but there's nowhere for them to go. But you see, they're pushing the fucking idiots forward. So I'm glad those people came along to help move the fucking idiots forward. Because that's that relative motion thing. Those fucking idiots, they didn't have enough relative motion to propel them fucking forward. That's that fucking hive mind bullshit where they don't know what the fuck is going on. But if there's enough people flying around them, they'll, eventually fucking speed up, which is good. So I'm glad those fast drivers came along. But you see why slow drivers are such a fucking problem? Because nobody is safe around slow drivers. Nobody is safe around a tractor trailer. And if you put the slow driver in front of the tractor trailer, the fucking tractor trailer's got no choice but to slow down. And then there's congestion building up behind the tractor trailer because people don't want to go around it because they're afraid to fucking go around it, as they should be. Because they're fucking scary. They're supposed to be scary. They're big, scary things. I don't know. This seems to have cleared out. I think we're getting past exit 20. There's like 10 miles where it's not so bad between exit 20 and exit 30. But I don't know. So we're 20 miles from the fuel station. So do you guys believe in angels, or? I definitely believe in angels. I have a long history of associating with demons, but and I have a really demonic past. But I want to move forward into an angelic future. I spent so much time thinking about demons and talking to demons and associating with demons. I don't want to do that anymore, you know. I want to talk to the angels, and I want to be angelic, you know. I want to associate with the angels, and I want to do the right thing, you know. I want to do good things. I want people to be good to each other. But you know, it's a hell realm, ladies and gentlemen. A hell realm. That's what Queen Stevens says. A hell realm. But I don't know. You know, it's hard. You know, because the world is, in my opinion, this is the world the devil created. Uh, you know, it just seems obvious because you look at history and you look at the biggest example of how this is the world the devil created is that all the effort they put into making things worse, you know, this world could be a paradise. Very easy. That comes down to eating the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It was a paradise until we figured out what's good and what's evil. And then, you know, the gloves came off. We were not supposed to be privy to that information. But that's the original sin. And so now we're all cast out of paradise. But man, I want to read Paradise Lost. I tried to read it when I was young and I couldn't really get through it. But I bet if I did an audio tape, I could get into it. Or an audiobook, whatever. But yeah, I mean, we are very much Paradise Lost. You want to get in front of me doing half my fucking speed? Come on, buddy. I know you want to. Anyways. But yeah, they go through so much effort to make the world a bad place. It'd be so easy to make the world a good place. All the money they waste on just like one new weapon system. You know, they want to develop a new fucking missile. And all the money that they could feed everybody in the world goes into building one fancy new missile. And it's like, are you fucking kidding? But I guess it's just a fight over resources, you know? But why did they divide the world anyways? Because all these countries are just fucking smash them all together into one fucking country. You know, what's the difference at this point? Because the globalists have made, you know, fucking cookie cutter countries all over the world anyways. Every place is more or less the same. It's just a central bank shithole. Which that's the cool thing about Iran is that Iran was holding out on the central banks. This fucker's going too slow. I lost track of if Iran ever got a central bank or not. But you know, every nation has a central bank at this point, except maybe North Korea. Good for them. And you know, at that point, why do we even? Let's just drop the charade, you know, and undo the facade, you know, or abandon the facade. Let's address the elephant in the room that every one of these countries is the same fucking game being played out, you know, with a different backdrop. It's just, it's the same play being played out. They just put a different backdrop behind it. Because, I've only been to one other country. I went to the Philippines, for my wife, and but and it was very different, but it was also very much the same. You watch the TV, it's a bunch of commercials for a bunch of, whatever, a bunch of products. Buy the products. They got a fucking government. You're all tied up with the government all the time. So what is it? It's some banks, it's some government, some fucking TV commercials, it's some churches, just. But anyways, they don't want us to be doing good. They want us to be doing bad. Because that's how they do good. If everybody was equal, then they couldn't be fucking, God knows what they're doing. The elites, the elites and the overlords. I call them the overlords. The overlords of this world, probably not even human, probably fucking straight demonic. So it's fucking stupid to sit around and be like, these demons should be nice to us. Why aren't these demons being more nice to us? Why don't we go kill the fucking demons? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do we let demons fucking lord over us? They're fucking demonic, It's hard, though, to identify them, because they're fucking, they exist in the shadows. This dude in front of us, I would like to get around him, but he's also doing such a speed that I can kind of use him to push through the traffic. If I just kind of ride on this guy, that's a good way to get through the traffic. If you find somebody who's doing like an okay speed, it's not too fast, not too slow. I don't know what the fuck this guy's doing. You're going to have a bad time. That guy's not going anywhere. But so if I just ride down on and stay on top of this guy, but no, he's fucking going way too slow. I wanted to jump over, but I was fucking spacing out, because I was thinking I was just going to do the thing. But yeah, because this guy's speed is all over the place. He's going from fucking 51 to 59 to 52 to 58. I don't fucking know, It's hard to get around people when they're doing shit like that. But he's going to take off running. JB Hunt is one of our, I don't know. I don't work for that company. But no. Yeah, I definitely do not work for JB Hunt. So good for this guy. Hey, buddy. Got a reefer. Running a fucking reefer over there. That was a big reefer trailer. I don't know. I don't even think I ever seen one of those fucking JB Hunt reefer trailers. Who cares? Gotcha. This is important. Who cares? All right. See, this guy ahead of me, there's no reason to try and get around him because he just fucking keeps speeding up. But he is going too fucking slow. But what I can do is I can kind of use him where, people, they're going to be mad at me for going slow, and then they're going to get in front of me, and then they're going to be stuck behind him, and then I get to laugh because they don't know what's going on. But I know what's going on. And also that guy has the potential to eventually move faster. Once the fast cars come around like they're doing right now, they're going to make that guy fuck off down the road like I want. Is that a Porsche? Fucking Porsche, dude. Go Porsche your Porsche. You're not Porsching your Porsche hard enough. Porsche your Porsche harder. There's another fucking Porsche. It's pretty cool. That's what is that? Another Porsche? Yeah, that's another fucking Porsche. Got 3 fucking Porsches. Pussyfooting around. Drive faster. Go Porsche your Porsche more Porschier. You're not Porscheing your Porsche enough. Beach Hotel, exit 30. Yeah, but I mean, the beach is the Long Island Sound, so. Connecticut got so shafted on having a beach. You gotta go to Rhode Island to get a real beach. Hold up. I'm thinking, I don't know. I'm getting kind of sick of fucking talking to myself. That JB Hunt driver who was fucking pussyfooting around, he's in a big hurry now. I think he just wants to stay on my tail. He could go around me if he wants to, but I don't give a shit what he does. I'm not moving over for him because there's no fucking point. If he really wants to get around me, it's not that hard. But he should not be doing what he's doing. I understand why he's doing what he's doing. He's seen me go by and then he got behind me because it's a good way to move through the fucking traffic is to put one guy behind the other. And then we're only wasting like one lane. But what I don't like about it is that he's speeding up to like stay on my tail where his comfort zone is like back there somewhere, you know. I don't know how heavy his trailer is or if he's a good driver or a bad driver, but I don't particularly want him behind me because it's going to fucking confuse the goddamn four-wheelers even more. But I don't know. I do that. I do the same thing sometimes, so I'm not going to get mad at him. I liked it better when I was alone. Okay, got 7 miles to get to the pump. Pump. I think I'm out of stuff to say. It gets kind of exhausting talking so much. Because I noticed the other day was when I did this thing, by the end of the day, I was freaking exhausted. But I'm hoping that I am supposed to be getting home later on this evening. And I'm hoping that when I do get home, I'll be able to like fall asleep good. I'm hoping I'll be all tuckered out from talking. All talkered out. Yes, points. I don't know. I think I'm talkered out right now. But I can't end the live stream because I'd have to reach over and start dicking around with the phone, which I'm not going to do that. So, but I am going to look at the comments. I don't know if there's like 2 or 3 comments, but I don't know if anybody even seen this. I don't know. People watch weird things. My wife has a vlog where she's just like showing us going grocery shopping. And there's people out there that watch her grocery shopping vlog, It's like, don't you also have to go grocery shopping? But I don't know. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm kind of a halfway decent trucker, I wasn't always this way. When I started truck driving, I sucked at it. I was really, really bad. I was fucking terrified. And I didn't know what I was doing. And people were always like, why do you suck at this so much? But over the course of, 2 or 3 years, I got the hang of it. And now I've been doing it like almost 8 years. So I know what I'm doing. And my job is like, I have like one of the best truck driving jobs that you could even hope to get. There's a lot of really suck. And, mine's a good one. So, it would make sense for people to watch, if you want to get driving lessons, if you want to learn something about driving, you could watch these live streams and watch enough of them, and once I say the same things over and over again a few times, you'll start to get the picture. I mean, these people have been pretty well behaved today. I don't know why. They've been a nightmare for like the past 2 months, but they're finally starting to get their shit together. I mean, it was messy for a couple spots, but not compared to how it normally is. Sometimes I need to fight these fuckers so goddamn hard just to get up this road. It's unbelievable what I have to do to get through these fucking people sometimes. But this run was smooth. I wish it had been a little bit more difficult so I could, like, you know, if it was a harder time, there'd be more things for me to point out. I feel like we've had a good cross section of situations for one video. I'll do more videos until I go on to paternity leave, and then people can watch them or not watch them. Probably they're not going to watch them. I really don't care if you watch them. It doesn't mean anything to me. I've been a failure my whole life. I'm not afraid to fail again at something. I fail all kinds of things all the time. I'm really good at failing, so I don't mind failing at YouTube also. It's not a trucking channel. It's not even the channel I wanted people to watch. I want you to go watch my clown show. Because, you know, my clown show is a work of art. I'll actually, you know what? I don't want you to watch my clown show. I want you to show your children my clown show. My clown show is a work of art. You know, it's a lot of thought and put into it, and, you know, and it's a legitimate piece of entertainment. So legitimately entertaining for children, I think. I don't know. We haven't really done any beta testing or screening. We haven't screened it. What do they call that when they focus group? I never really ran the clown show through a focus group of children, but I know I like it, and I think it's pretty great. So yeah, that's why I'm doing this. I mean, if I could help people learn to drive better, that'd be great. You know, because you really need to hear it from me. I don't know, you know, because these drivers, they don't, you know, they get bad information too. Because I think, you know, out of everything I've said in this video, the takeaway, the best thing I said was that, you know, with driving, the wrong thing is the right thing, and the right thing is the wrong thing. This guy's flashing me over. I appreciate that. Makes things simple, nice and fucking slow here. Getting in line to go to this fucking, this exit up here. Sucks. See you later, dude. I wonder, he's probably going the same place I'm going, but I'll get there before I do because I got an extra stop. No, he's not. I don't know where that guy's going. Also, anyway, whatever. We're almost at the fuel station here. And then I got 1 hour up to my delivery, and then Mustang's fucking sweet, guys. So I got an hour up to my delivery, and then 20 minutes over to drop the trailer, and then hour to go home, and that's it for the week. That's another one in the books. Oh yeah, I forgot that I'm still live streaming. I was gonna like just stop talking. I was like, all right, well, we're here, we're done. But no, we are still driving. Okay, stop sign. I do a big stop because I'm the big boy. I do the big boy stop at the stoplight. Okay, here we go. This guy is fucking staring at my headlights. I don't know why. That company, GP Transco, I want to work for this company because Look at that truck. Can you see that? Oh, it's like off camera. It's really blue. They have these really blue trucks. I want to go work for that company so I could drive a pretty blue truck. But I wouldn't have anywhere to put the freaking trailer. You probably got to take the trailer home with you. So, whatever. What time is it? 10:30. 10:30 on a Saturday night. This freaking fuel station can be so freaking backed up sometimes, but it's a Saturday night, so we're just gonna cruise in and cruise out, and not really very many comments. I can't see your comments anyways because I'm driving, but I don't know if anybody even watched it, didn't watch it. I'm sure there was a couple people who showed up for 55 seconds to hear me talking to myself for 55 seconds. But you know, you can stay longer than 55 seconds because if you recall, I've been talking to myself for about 2 hours or more. So that's more than 55 seconds. Average viewer duration. I guess I'm only interesting for 55 seconds. Probably I'm only interesting for about 45 seconds. And then the last 10 seconds, they're like, is this going to go anywhere? I'm like, yeah, it's going somewhere. It's going down the road. Can't you see that I'm going down? That's where we're going. We're going down the road. Look at all these fucking trucks like sardines, motherfucker. God, it's so weird. These people live in these things, and then on the weekends they got nowhere to go, nothing to do. Just fucking pile into the goddamn truck stops, and they're stuck here the whole fucking weekend. I don't know how they live like that. Fucking, you know, it sucks to work for a big ugly corporation, but the nice thing about it is that I don't really have the kind of downtime that these fucking people have. They got so much downtime. I feel actually pretty bad for them having that much downtime. All right, we're here. That's the end of the live stream. I had to read these comments. What is it? Hi, where are you driving to? I'm driving to here. We're here. Look at all these bugs. All right, that's the end of the live stream, dude. This is saying 14 minutes. We've only been live for 14 minutes. I don't get it. X. Okay.